There's a moment almost everyone reaches at some point where you already know, deep down, that something needs to end. A relationship, a job, a version of yourself you've outgrown. But knowing isn't the hard part. Admitting it is. Today, I'm giving you 10 unmistakable signs that it's time to let go. Some painfully relatable, one might genuinely surprise you. And by the end, you'll walk away lighter than you came in. Let's begin.
Someone expects you to be someone you're not. Vincent van Gogh sold almost nothing in his lifetime. Critics mocked his style. Friends urged him to paint like everyone else, the acceptable way. He refused. And today, The Starry Night hangs in the Museum of Modern Art as one of the most recognized paintings on Earth. He couldn't have known that then. He just knew one thing. Bending yourself into a shape someone else prefers isn't connection. It's disappearance. If someone only wants you once you've become smaller, that's not love asking. That's control.
2. A person's actions don't match their words. Aesop told this one over 2,000 years ago, and it still holds. A shepherd boy cries wolf so many times as a joke that when the wolf actually comes, no one believes him, and no one comes to help. Words spent carelessly eventually become worthless, no matter how good they sound. Watch what people repeatedly do, not what they occasionally say. Patterns don't lie. People sometimes do. 3. You catch yourself trying to force someone to love you. In Greek mythology, the nymph Echo fell so completely for Narcissus that she gave up her own voice just to be near him, and he never once looked back. She faded until nothing was left but an echo of a voice calling into empty mountains. Love that has to be chased, earned, or begged for was never really offered. The strongest thing you can do isn't holding tighter. It's finally letting your own voice matter more than someone else's silence. 4. An intimate relationship is based strictly on physical attraction. In Beauty and the Beast, Belle is the only person in the entire village who looks past a monstrous exterior to see who someone actually is underneath. Everyone else judges the cover. She reads the book. Attraction fades the moment life gets hard. Illness, age, a bad year. What lasts is the person who saw more than your surface in the first place. If someone only wants the surface, you already know how the story ends. Someone continuously breaks your trust. Et tu, Brute? 3 words that have echoed through history since Shakespeare gave them to a dying Julius Caesar, stabbed not by an enemy, but by the friend he trusted most. Betrayal cuts deepest, not from strangers, but from the people closest to us, because we let our guard down for them. If someone keeps finding new ways to break the same trust, the lesson isn't about forgiving harder, it's about protecting yourself smarter. 6. Someone continuously overlooks your worth. Cinderella spent years cooking, cleaning, and caring for a family that treated her as invisible, right up until the one night she stopped waiting for them to notice her and simply showed up as herself. You don't need everyone in a room to see your value. You need to stop shrinking yourself in rooms that refuse to. The right people will notice without you having to prove a single thing. 7. You are never given a chance to speak your mind. At 15, Malala Yousafzai was shot for insisting girls deserved the right to an education and a voice. She survived, and instead of retreating into silence, she became the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate in history. If a teenage girl can find her voice in the face of actual bullets, you can find yours at a dinner table or in a relationship where you're constantly talked over. Silence you choose is peace. Silence forced on you is erasure.
8. You are frequently forced to sacrifice your happiness? In Shel Silverstein's The Giving Tree, a tree spends its entire life giving branches, apples, trunk, everything to a boy who takes and takes until there's nothing left but a stump. The story is often read as beautiful. It's also a warning. Generosity without limits isn't love. It's depletion. You're allowed to give to people, but not until there's nothing left of you to give to yourself.
9. You truly dislike your current situation. J.K. Rowling was a single mother working a job that drained her completely, writing Harry Potter on napkins during breaks because it was the only thing that felt like hers. She eventually left the job that was safe, but wrong, for the uncertain path that was right. Success at the top of the wrong ladder isn't success. It's just a better view of a life you don't actually want. Comfort in the wrong place is still the wrong place. 10. You catch yourself obsessing over and living in the past. Orpheus loved his wife Eurydice so much that he journeyed into the underworld to bring her back, and was granted permission on exactly one condition. Don't look back until you're both in the light. At the very last step, he turned, and he lost her forever. Sometimes the past isn't taken from us. We're the ones who turn around and look for it, right when we're one step from being free. Here's the surprising part. Every single sign we just walked through has the exact same solution. Not revenge, not bitterness, not proving anyone wrong. Just one quiet step forward, without looking back. Van Gogh kept painting his way. Belle kept seeing past surfaces. Malala kept speaking. None of them let go out of anger. They let go because they finally chose themselves. And every one of them ended up living a fuller story because of it. If any of these 10 hit home today, that's not a bad sign. That's clarity. And clarity is the first step toward finally being free. If this reached you at the right time, you know exactly who else needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.